about, and making sure that our kids get the best education that they can possibly get.
Jonathan Young.
Indeed, what a disgraceful, outrageous fabrication of fiction that came from that member as he listed off some great New Zealanders who have done more for this country than the combined members of that party. Sir, you have got to be amazed at that, and what this country needs is an opposition that do the job properly, instead of maligning New Zealanders for the political pleasure and advantage that they see at this particular point in time. You know, New Zealanders do deserve an opposition that will be people and men and women of integrity, and I think we've been disappointed today by that speech. Sir, we've got to say that this government is doing more for this country, particularly in the areas of environment, than we have seen for decades. And as a number of members have stated in this House, in terms of a policy group, the Blue-Green group are working very, very strongly and bringing some great policy initiatives that brings the right balance that keeps New Zealand working well, but also builds a great environment. You know, I am very privileged to come from the region of Taranaki, and I stand here to say that as a region, it stands out in its ability to maintain strong economic growth alongside a strong commitment to environmental conservation and enjoyment. Growing up in Taranaki, enjoying our environment is a birthright. We understand and we know that, from mountain to the surf and all the beautiful countryside in between. New Plymouth was named Best Place to Live by North and South magazine, beating all the big cities in New Zealand. We won the best small city in the world in the International Awards for Livable Communities, yes, back in 2008. But recently, just only a few weeks ago, 2,000 people responded to the survey sent out by travel experience provider Experience Oz and New Zealand, and voted Taranaki top spot on the list of New Zealand's best destinations. And this, sir, is in a region that utilises and develops its environment. We have intensive agriculture, we have oil and gas exploration, we have all of those activities that utilise our environment, yet people still vote that this is the best place to come to. This is the best city. And so we have got it right in terms of being able to develop an economy and protect an environment. And I think New Zealanders ought to and should continue to look to Taranaki as a great example of this. And we can be assured that the national-led government, the National Party, continue to do tremendous work around the environmental care and protection of our country. You know, we have a resource use. We believe that resource use must be based on sustainability. We have a sound record on better environmental management. Successful economic and environmental policy can and must go hand in hand to provide a cleaner, greener, brighter future for all of New Zealanders. Sir, I believe that we do have it right, and we're not lurching from one position to another position. We are science-based, and we're making methodical progress. We believe in the values of having a great environment, but we also believe that we need to not just enjoy the environment, but afford to be able to live in this great country. And a number of our speakers have raised must be a frightening story of what's just happened in Tasmania to the Labor-Green coalition there, who for a long time drove a very, very strong environmental program and ended up a very strong environmental program. You have got to be frightened, Annette King. You have got to be frightened of the coalition partners that you are looking at. 16 sad years, 16 years that ended up with an economy with 20% unemployment, and continual deficits that finally the voting public and even I think the union members tossed out. And you've got to understand that people now have reacted and are now swinging back, and probably swinging back too far. And that's the problem about a Labor-Green coalition, is they swing far too far. You know, it's reported, sir, by the Sydney Morning Herald that the new leader of the government that's going to come in there went in there with a promise that they were going to turf out and toss out the peace agreement that was forged between the labour markets and the environmentalists.
The member's time has expired.
Mr. Speaker.
Chris Farfoy.
Mr. Speaker, it's a sad indictment on the National Party when it's not only their current ministers that